wouldn't ride one of them little scooters or nothing around here, man, because the police are like salivating at the mouth to write somebody a ticket or take them to jail. And if you think they won't pull you over for riding them scooters, you're crazier than I am, man. Like I said, everybody, forevermore have said how crazy I am. Shit, they're the stupidest bastards on the earth, man. That's what they are. They're always the ones doing some bullshit. Not me. I wanted to ride, so I made a bicycle with a motor on it. I did it the right way, in accordance with the law. I'll take them scooters, will, and continue to do so. Cut them up. Make a bicycle. Make an e-bike out of them. Take your scooter, disassemble it, cut it up into pieces. Put the drivetrain on the bike, and you got the coolest thing you've ever known, folks. Yeah, nobody around here can keep a driver's license like I can. Nobody around here got nothing to drive. And then, when they don't have nothing to drive, what do? They go out and get a scooter, which is against the law. They're written, recreational property, stuff like that. They're useless for transportation, man. You can't ride them down the road. And it's just a bunch of brainwashed bullshit. It's dead wrong, I mean, there's no doubt about that. It's immoral as hell, and you should be able to ride them. There's nothing wrong with riding them, besides them being noisy as hell, and it's way too loud. I'd rather walk than listen to that kind of noise, but it doesn't last very long. Again, I would not stop the people from doing it, because I know that them damn things won't run long enough to aggravate nobody, trust me. That Chinese junk ain't worth it. So they went out and paid out the nose for it, $200 or $300 for that damn thing, so let the poor guy ride it, loud piece of junk. Let him ride it, But no, hell no. No, we can't let you ride that, buddy, because it's too efficient. It saves you too much money, and we're trying to collect revenue right now. That's what we are. Officers of revenue collectors. Officers of revenue. The thought police, right? And ask you what the fuck you're doing carrying a knife, man. That's kind of what they do down here. And that last cop that fucking pulled up in here, I got a video of him pulling up in my front yard like he's, chasing after a criminal. Well, that'd be great if you had your lights on and a bullhorn and said, "Stop now!" You know what I mean? But when somebody's pulling up, and it's pretty apparent that they're pulling up in their own yard, because that's what they do, right? They run in the yard real slow. They're not panicking, right? They're not in a hurry. They're not running away from you, right? And then you reach up and disarm them, right? You take the tool from them. Good for you. You disarmed me, Good for you, Let me tell you something. You took one of us, man. But what you gave to me was 100% permission to disrespect you, man. You lost all respect right there. And I made a decision right there that I don't respect people like that. Anybody, don't matter who they are. You have no obligation to the United States of America, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and we the people. They call themselves a public servant. They serve and protect, right? And before you guys get mad at me, let me tell you what I'm about and what I've done with my life, okay? And then, again, don't lose respect for me, and admiration for me, Well, my whole life I've been a real good guy, I can tell you that right now. A lot like my Uncle Melvin, a lot like my brother Mark. And so, I've been a pretty good guy. I've been pulling little old ladies out of the sugar stand, stuck in a little chair, or whatever I could do for somebody, man. Give them a hug and tell them their life is valuable, has merit, is of great importance to me. Give them a word of encouragement, you know, if people need it. Sometimes I've not been wanting to be bothered with it, you know, didn't have the time, so to speak. Y'all think about that, you know. When somebody comes to you, don't matter who it is, man, and they're down and out, and they're in tears, and they're crying, and they're down on life, and you got to try to pick them back up, and, you know, tell them like it is, man. Get a backbone, get some gumption. I'll give you a swift kick in the ass, you know. I will. I'll give you a good dose of philosophy. It'll straighten your spine up and stiffen it up, and you'll quit that baby come back shit and start being a man, right? And nobody knows more than I do about being that baby come back sissy son of a gun. Probably the worst in the world, man. And that always helps too, when you can be humble and tell the truth to people. You're not just trying to be humble, you really are humble, because you are what you are, man. You're weak. That's what I am. I'm weak like everybody else, right? I have times when I'm down and I'm weak. I need somebody to love me, man. And that's how I've lived my life, you know. I've lived my life being a pretty good fella. Trying to do good things. You know, here recently, a motorbike person from the west side came over here, and as he got ready to leave, he said, I lost $5, I think, in your yard. I said, I don't think so, man, because I was standing right here with you, but it's kind of dark, you know. I'll look, man, when I go back in there and see if I see a $5 bill laying on the ground, all right? I'll sweat it. You know, because he kept going on about it. You know, he's poor like I am. $5 is a big deal to him. And I said, all right, buddy, take care, man. And he left. He started going down Lanier Street westbound, and it's longer going westbound from my house than it is east. So I had managers to walk back in the yard. So I found that $5 bill, you know, and ran back to the street real quick and whistled and hollered at him. He turned around and come back. I said, here you go, dude. Here's your $5. I didn't have 5 cents to my name, y'all. I didn't have a nickel to my name, man. And when I tell people, you know, that I believe in God and I believe in doing right, it's not talk. It's the way I live my life, man. I have integrity. And that's how I feel, you know, my life. People have valued me as a friend. If nothing else, you know, I'm sure I was a thorn in their side and aggravated them at different times in my life, you know, because I've become about something, you know, as opposed to 10, 15, whatever years ago, you know. So like I said, you know, still, I think that I have some respect. I really do, you know, even with people that are aggravated with me. And again, you know, that's the most important thing in the world to me, man. You know. It's kind of very interesting, man, like this young lady here. Last name starts with a B. I can't even pronounce it, man. 19 years old. Her and her husband got this LaFerrari dude. Something like that. Sounds Italian. He was a heavy-set guy. Wasn't real old. But he offered this 19-year-old lady that Ferrari thought was 16 years old, according to the lady that killed him, and her husband. And now they're locked up, you know, and come to find out, she's got like 20 people that she's murdered, man. Craigslist killers, I think is what they call them. some more scumbags using Craigslist, right? And just because she's telling the world that because this fat dude offered what he thought was a 16-year-old $100 bill to have sex, right?